Hi guys. All right, so as I mentioned, this is kind of the north side of the house, but we believe and we love blueberries, so we went ahead and, you know, took the effort of building an extra garden bed with walls, and we dug all this out. And now I'm going to be mounting the walls. I'm going to do dry walls. First I was thinking of adding concrete, but actually I figured, you know, since the wall in theory is going to have earth on the other side that's going to hold it, why not build actually a dry wall, right? It's less invasive and more kind of environmentally friendly anyways. And so a lot of other stuff can kind of live in there as well. So I'm going to use just gonna be bringing all the stones, build a wall, trying to bring it up to like around 80 centimeters or something like that. And then I'm gonna put a plastic foil underneath, some pots, actually some buckets with holes in it that I'm gonna place on the ground the other way around, which are gonna serve sort of as water pockets. And then I got some earth from the forest, but essentially also bought a lot of acidic earth, which is obviously what blueberries and cranberries and all the kind of stuff we want to plant here require, right? And it's not completely that we don't have any sun here. Just wanted to mention it. In the morning and then later in the afternoon, it does have direct sun. However, it's a bit protected during the day, which is good. All right, let's get the stones in here. Now what I want to do is basically just make sure that the ground is really level, and the reason why I think this is useful is because there will always be water at the bottom, and I just feel it will be more level, like the water, that it's kind of evenly spread throughout the garden bed. So I'm going to be doing the last layer out by hand, and this also obviously helps me to not have to build a higher wall than that, because essentially building a dry wall without kind of having earth behind it is a bit more tricky than if I can refill it with earth all the time and back, because it just makes it so much easier. Yeah, and then I'm gonna put a tarp in here, and I still need to figure out what to put behind the tarp, because I'm a little worried that the stones will essentially damage it quite quickly. Usually, such as in ponds, you put some kind of a fleece material underneath, but since I don't have it, I'm just gonna improvise. Maybe some straw on the bottom, something like this. Anyhow, let's get this earth out of here, and then we already ordered so many plants that are all waiting to go in here, so I'm actually quite excited to be able to plant them. So stay tuned, let's get it done. I managed. So I would like to say that took me a couple of seconds, as in this video, but unfortunately it took me quite a while because there was still more earth to remove than initially thought. But I'm actually quite happy. Let me show you. Here we have quite the depth actually. I don't know how much that would be here, probably like 60-70 centimeters. Alright, so next step is putting a tarp in and figuring out how to cushion the whole thing a little bit. Stay tuned. So you just kind of see what we've been doing. So basically what I decided to add is below, well, besides this foil, is, as you can see here, we have kind of a foil which is, you know what you call it, basically one of those foils with which you tend to do around your house, for instance if you have a ditch to protect it from water. So like a thicker foil which is going to protect this one from being pierced by the stones, because essentially we could have been taking a proper kind of tarp for a pond or something, but I mean they're crazy expensive, at least here in France. I was checking it, and I'll be paying like for something halfway decent around 15 euros a square meter. Maybe there might be some cheaper ones, but I didn't really see it. And I still had this one, which is a super plain construction foil, which I've been using to protect my roof basically when redoing it. And I mean, it's not a pond, so I think it should be fine. And so basically what we did is a quick layer of sand on the bottom, and this has mainly just the purpose of, you know, being able to protect a little bit the tarp when walking on it. Then we have all these pots, which are basically buckets with I pierced holes in, and they are spread across the floor. What they're going to be doing is simulating some kind of water pockets in this kind of swampish environment, and then we collected and through winter in the hen run. I always added a lot of straw and hay because it tended to be muddy, and so the chickens don't have to run around the mud. But essentially now we are scraping all of this out again because it's been you know, enriched with the whole chicken droppings, which are very acid, right? So chicken droppings would be around a pH of 5 or a maximum or below 5 actually, and this is super suitable because we obviously want to have a super acid environment here. And I was kind of under the impression that, for instance, I could get some horse dung and put it in there, but I think I was mistaken. That horse dung actually is more of a pH of 7.5 to 8, which would be controversial for us, or like counterproductive for us here. So not going to use that. Then I put a layer of grass clippings on top of it. It's just because generally some green matter isn't too bad, and I just had it. Then also I collected some sawdust. This is sawdust from oak, and it's also very acid. So I added this. It will be just composting in there. And now I collected all these kind of bags, which is some pine needles, some oak leaves, and all sorts of stuff that I got from the forest. And I'll be adding this now on top of it. And basically then I bought some proper soil, which is going to be the last layer that comes on top. And there's Nico, he's the transporter. You're already a famous guy. Well, working with a fork in here, maybe not the wisest thing to do, but I'm being very careful. Alright, so we've done a bit of patchworking since we had to fill up a lot more than we anticipated. So at the bottom, as you've seen, we got sand. Then we put in some kind of green matter. We put in some chicken droppings mixed with straw. And afterwards we brought a lot of earth, leaves and pine needles from the forest. And to top it up, we actually added a lot of then really fertile earth, which also comes from the hen run. And on top of it now we had well, this is kind of fertilizer water that comes from cows. We still had in the tank underneath our greenhouse. And after mixing this in, I think this is going to be basically the lower layers, and on the top we're actually going to put some proper earth we bought, which has the right kind of acidity levels. And this is what we're going to be planting the blueberries in. And very important at this point is blueberries shouldn't be buried too low, and otherwise we could always, you know, be adding earth later, but we don't want to be doing this because they should rather be kind of sticking out of the ground with the earth that comes with the pot, right? So let's get to it. We're gonna bring it into the top layer and then add the other earth before putting the plants in.